Millions of people swallow a golden fish oil capsule every single morning. They do it for heart health, for brain function, and for longevity. But clinical testing shows reality. Most of those people remain completely deficient in omega-3s. We struggle to fix this deficiency because we are relying on flawed math and a broken measurement system to track what we put in our bodies. To know if your supplement is actually working, you need to look at cellular data. This chart illustrates the omega-3 index. It measures the exact percentage of EPA and DHA fatty acids built right into your red blood cell membranes, typically on a scale from 0 to 15%. If your blood cell membranes are made up of less than 4% omega-3s, you are in the deficient zone, and that is exactly where the majority of consumers are stuck. Because of the way we buy supplements, the average American and European sits right on the edge of deficiency, hovering between 4 and 5%. The clinical target is nearly double that. You want to reach the optimal zone of 8 to 12%. For context, the average person in Japan naturally maintains an index of around 9 to 10%. This high index correlates with Japan's distinct health profile. While many cultural factors are at play, their 9 to 10% average coincides with significantly lower rates of fatal heart disease and a life expectancy that is, on average, 4 years longer than in the US. We fail to reach that optimal zone here because of the bottles we buy. When you pick up a standard pill labeled 1,000 milligrams, that number doesn't mean you're getting 1,000 milligrams of omega-3. You're mostly buying inactive filler fats that make up the physical volume of the capsule. If you aren't tracking your specific biological metrics, you are paying for a placebo. You're missing out on the measurable cardiovascular protection you bought it for in the first place. The confusion starts with where you source the oil. Many people turn to plant-based options like flaxseed, assuming it's a direct substitute. But relying on plants creates a severe biological bottleneck. Plants provide an omega-3 called ALA. Your body has to convert that ALA into the active EPA and DHA molecules it actually needs. That conversion process is incredibly inefficient. Typically less than 8% of the ALA makes the transition. Marine sources completely bypass this roadblock. Fish and algae already contain high doses of preformed EPA and DHA, meaning your body can use them immediately. Even if you choose marine oil, the front label is designed to deceive you. A bold 1,000 milligram stamp only tells you how much the pill weighs, not the amount of active medicine inside. To find the truth, you have to read the back. Looking at this split-screen scorecard, you can see the marketing on the left. But on the right, the nutritional facts panel reveals the true active dosage. You have to locate the serving size and then add together the specific milligrams of EPA and DHA. A standard capsule might only contain 300 total milligrams of active EPA and DHA. To reach the clinical target of 1,500 milligrams a day, you would have to multiply that dose, taking 3, 4, or even 5 pills. The bulk weight of the pill is irrelevant. The only way to see clinical results is to calculate and consume precise milligram thresholds of active EPA and DHA. Getting the dosage right is only half the battle. If the chemical form of the supplement prevents it from absorbing into your bloodstream, the pills are useless. Most standard fish oil comes in a triglyceride form. This is the natural structure found in fish. It absorbs beautifully into the body, but it has a lower concentration of omega-3s per capsule. To solve the concentration problem, manufacturers created ethyl esters. This matrix compares standard triglycerides, restructured triglycerides, and ethyl esters across cost, concentration, and absorption. Ethyl esters are highly engineered molecules designed to jam the maximum amount of omega-3s into a single pill. But look at the absorption column. Ethyl esters come with a massive trade-off. If you take them on an empty stomach, they exhibit exceedingly poor biological absorption. Ensuring these molecules actually reach your bloodstream requires a specific environment. As the chart shows, absorption only spikes when ethyl esters are paired with a fatty meal. That dietary fat is required to stimulate the digestive enzymes needed to break the pill down. Buying a premium, highly concentrated pill is a waste of money if you take it with your morning coffee. You have to match the supplement's chemical form to your actual dietary habits. Even if you calculate the dose and master the absorption, you might hesitate because of the sensationalized headlines warning that omega-3s cause severe surgical bleeding and atrial fibrillation. The bleeding myth traces back to the early 1980s, when researchers observed prolonged bleeding times in patients taking extreme, unnatural megadoses of cod liver oil. The modern clinical consensus has debunked this for normal use. The FDA explicitly confirms there is no increased risk of clinically significant bleeding from standard omega-3 supplements, even if you are concurrently taking blood thinners like aspirin. Then there is the fear surrounding atrial fibrillation, or AFib. This quadrant chart maps omega-3 risks based on the data from recent clinical trials. The horizontal axis tracks dosage from 1 to 4 grams, and the vertical axis tracks a patient's pre-existing cardiovascular risk. The data shows that the AFib risk only materializes under highly specific conditions. It is isolated to the top right quadrant, patients who already have severe heart disease and are prescribed massive 3 to 4 gram doses. For healthy or moderate risk individuals taking standard clinical doses of 1 to 2 grams, the lower and left quadrants show the increased risk of AFib is statistically non-existent. And there is an ultimate irony in those high-risk trials. The marginal 1% absolute increase in AFib was offset by a measurable decrease in stroke risk. Abandoning omega-3s out of fear of statistically microscopic risks is a bad trade. It deprives your body of proven systemic longevity benefits. Some people try to hit the optimal levels strictly through diet, eating oily fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines twice a week. That is great for whole food nutrition, but testing shows that usually only pushes the index to around 5 or 6%. To cross the gap and reach that 8% longevity target, you have to transition from passive guessing to active measurement. This 4-step execution matrix outlines the protocol. Step 1 is establishing an objective biological baseline by taking an at-home omega-3 finger prick blood test. Steps 2 and 3 require calculating your personal deficit. Based on your test, you commit to a daily intake, typically around 1,500 milligrams of verified EPA and DHA, and ensure you are using a highly absorbable chemical form. Step 4 is the follow-up. You retest in exactly 4 months, because 120 days is the precise biological timeframe your body requires to completely cycle and replace its red blood cell membranes. True cellular health cannot be bought by blindly trusting a front label. It requires calculating the active dose, optimizing for absorption, and proving the results with your own blood data.